Michael Jackson, The Dangerous Dance Moves Full Storytelling Documentary. Introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, we step into the world of a man who was more than just a singer, more than just a dancer, he was a phenomenon. A man whose every step, every spin, every move could electrify an audience of thousands, and yet, behind those movements, lay a secret world of pain, dedication, and innovation. This is the story of Michael Jackson, the king of pop, and his dangerous dance moves. Moves that stunned the world, inspired millions, and even put his own body at risk. For the next hour, sit back, close your eyes if you wish, and let me take you on a journey through the legend, the music, and the mystery of Michael Jackson's dance. Chapter 1. The Beginning, A Child with Rhythm. Michael's story of dance begins not on the grand stage of Madison Square Garden, but in a tiny home in Gary, Indiana. Long before the sequined gloves and spotlight, little Michael was dancing around his living room. He was barely 5 years old when his natural rhythm shocked his family. His mother, Katherine Jackson, would often recall how young Michael could pick up steps just by watching others. By the time the Jackson 5 was formed, Michael was already stealing the show. His spins, his little shuffles, his moonlit energy, it was as though he was born with rhythm coursing through his veins. But little did the world know, this child was about to change dance forever. Chapter 2. The Invention of Iconic Moves. Michael Jackson was not just a dancer, he was an inventor. He didn't just follow dance styles of the time, he created new ones. Let's talk about the most famous of them all, the moonwalk. The moonwalk wasn't born in 1983, though. Street dancers in Los Angeles had been playing with glides and backslides long before. But Michael, he took it, polished it, and transformed it into something magical. On March 25, 1983, during the television special Motown 25, Yesterday, Today, Forever, Michael performed Billie Jean. At first, the audience clapped along, cheering the familiar beats. Then, suddenly, he slid backward in smooth glides, defying gravity. The world stopped. People gasped. Was it magic? From that night on, the moonwalk wasn't just a dance, it was history. But the moonwalk was just the beginning. Michael would create many more moves, some of them so dangerous that they nearly broke his body. Chapter 3. The Spin, Turning Like a Tornado. Another signature move was his spin. Michael could turn on a single heel, rotating with such precision that it looked like his body had no weight. Fans called it the tornado, because he could stop on a dime, landing perfectly still, often on his toes. But what most people didn't know is that Michael trained endlessly for that one move. He practiced balance, speed, and sharp endings. His choreographers said he could spin 7, 8, even 9 times before stopping in perfect control. Every spin ended with him pointing to the crowd or freezing in his famous pose, hat tipped forward, legs crossed, arms out. And each time, the crowd roared as if they had just witnessed something supernatural. Chapter 4. The Toe Stand, Dancing on Air. One of Michael's most dangerous moves was the toe stand. He would rise onto the tips of his shoes, balancing like a ballet dancer on point, but unlike ballet, he did it in heavy loafers, not slippers. This was not easy. In fact, Michael's feet and ankles often suffered. Dancers and doctors both said the pressure on his toes was incredible, enough to break bones if done wrong. But to Michael, the show always came first. When he leaned back on his toes, hands spread wide, spotlight shining, it was as though he floated in air. Chapter 5. The Dangerous Lean, Defying Gravity. In 1988, Michael released the short film for his song, Smooth Criminal. Within it was a move that defied all logic, the gravity-defying lean. Michael would stand straight, then tilt his entire body forward at a 45-degree angle, without bending at the waist. Audiences could hardly believe their eyes. How did he do it? Some thought it was wires. Others thought it was camera tricks. But the truth, Michael and his team invented a special patented shoe mechanism. The shoes had slots in the heels that locked into pegs on the stage floor, allowing him to lean forward without falling. Even with this secret, the move required immense strength in his core and ankles. Doctors said the lean was dangerous, that no human body should bend that way. But Michael was no ordinary performer. The anti-gravity lean became one of his deadliest, most celebrated moves. Fans tried to copy it and failed. Some even injured themselves attempting it. Michael had once again proven he was untouchable. Chapter 6. The dangers behind the moves. Behind the glitter and applause, the truth was darker. Michael's body often paid the price. His knees, his back, his ankles, all took damage from years of pushing boundaries. He rehearsed endlessly, sometimes 10 to 12 hours a day, drilling every move until it became second nature. Perfection had a cost. Dancers who worked with him said his body was often bruised and sore, but he never let the audience see his pain. Because to Michael, dance wasn't just entertainment. It was his language, his way of speaking to the world. Chapter 7. The Legacy of Dance. Michael Jackson's dance moves became more than steps. They became symbols. The moonwalk meant magic. The spin meant speed and control. The lean meant mystery. Every artist that came after him, from Usher to Chris Brown, from BTS to The Weeknd, studied his moves, borrowed from them, paid homage to them. Michael wasn't just a dancer, he became the standard. And even today, years after his passing, people still gather in streets, in studios, in concerts, attempting the moonwalk. Some succeed, many fail, but all agree, there was, and never will be, another Michael Jackson. Chapter 8. The Final Performance. In 2009, Michael was preparing for what would have been his final tour, This Is It. Dancers recall how even in rehearsals, Michael still performed moves most men half his age couldn't attempt. He moonwalked, spun, and leaned with the same fire as decades before. Though his body was frail, his spirit was unstoppable. Tragically, the tour never happened. But the rehearsal footage showed the world that Michael, even in his final days, never lost his magic. Conclusion. The man behind the moves. Michael Jackson's dangerous dance moves weren't just tricks for applause. They were his soul, expressed through motion. Every slide, every spin, every lean was a piece of his heart given to the audience. And though he is gone, his moves live forever. Every time a child learns the moonwalk in front of a mirror, every time a dancer attempts the lean on stage, every time fans scream at a tribute performance, Michael lives again. He was the boy from Gary, Indiana, who taught the world how to dance. The man who made danger beautiful. The man who made movement immortal. The king of pop, Michael Jackson.